Stand out with a one-of-a-kind present. A Golf Now gift card. Good towards any Hot Deals tea time at thousands of great courses. Visit golfnow.com/gift card today.
All right, 30 past the hour. Welcome back. We're live in Alabama. So President Trump just tweeted about Senator Kirsten Gillibrand after she called for him to resign yesterday amid sexual misconduct allegations. This is the President of the United States tweet. Lightweight Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, a total flunky for Chuck Schumer, and someone who would come to my office begging for campaign contributions not so long ago and would do anything for them.
Is now fighting against Trump. Very disloyal to Bill and crooked. Used! Exclamation point.
Okay, so I just want to say something beyond the fact that that is reprehensible that the President of the United States would say something so derogatory and disgusting about a woman. We're not surprised, Mr. President. You do it all the time. You treat women terribly, and you treat the women around you even worse. And you treat women like punching bags because it's fun for you, because you are intimidated by women. That's your problem, okay? But for the people who work for you, you need to act. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, good luck today in the briefing. Don't lie, and do not defend the President of the United States for what he did. If you do, you have no credibility, and you should step down from your position. You should resign.
It makes my blood boil. It makes my blood boil. You know, Kirsten Gillibrand might be on the other side of the political aisle. She is a class act. She's a brilliant woman. She's had a great career. She's an inspiration. And he is trying to silence her by insinuating that parentheses would do anything for a it is so gross and beneath the office.
Caddy?
I'm looking at this now, and you can imagine Trump writing this and hoping for exactly the reaction that he's just got.
Well, a vote for Roy Moore is a vote for Donald Trump. Good luck for that, Alabama.
To provoke a reaction from his opponents. He does this to provoke a reaction from women. It's obscene, the implication coming from somebody who's in the Oval Office and would do anything for them. The language is appalling. But he likes the fact that this then creates a firestorm.
But you know,
that's what is sick about it.
The thing is, though, Steve, and what I've never understood is, and I haven't understood it from the start of the general election last year, this is what I call the 33% solution. This is a sort of thing that may harden supporters, but at the end, you're turning off swing voters, you're turning off independents, you're turning off a lot of women, you're turning off a lot of educated voters, and you can look, and sure enough, you look at the Pew poll, he's sitting at 32% in that poll. You can look at other polls where he's 33, 35, 36%, and sure enough, there may be some people that are like, yeah, give it to him, Donald. Maybe some older white males, I don't know. But he offends so many other people that he never allows himself to move into the 40s.
Yeah, look, he's got a special problem with women, but beyond that, he has this inability to not respond anytime he's criticized. Now, this was obviously a pretty extreme criticism. People say the mildest things about him, and he lashes back on Twitter against them. It's this visceral Roy Cohn school, whatever you want to call it, approach of his, and it is ultimately going to bring him down because you cannot make enemies of everybody around you, whether it's Mitch McConnell or Kirsten Gillibrand or Chuck Schumer, whomever, and function. And by the way, I think they should take Twitter back to 140 characters.
Well, let me just say, Joe, I know that you know this personally, that President Donald Trump cannot be spoken to about anything because he believes nothing, and he treats women terribly, and he doesn't understand women, and he gets very, very, very obsessed with certain women. But everybody else working around the president, if your day is not consumed by getting him to take down that tweet, please leave. You're worth nothing. You don't care about this country. You don't care about women. And you will support a man who does something like that.
You know,
Read that tweet.
Willie, we've
Read
seen...
what he put in parentheses and decide what you're going to do at work today. And if it's anything less than making him take down that tweet or quitting, I feel sorry for you.
We've seen this time and again, and of course, we've seen the attacks against a lot of women. We've seen a lot of attacks against Mika, lies about Mika, personal attacks against Mika. And there is this strange silence from the women around him, that women that were supposed to be moderating forces. And here he is suggesting that Kirsten Gillibrand would do anything.
Let's just say it. He's suggesting that Kirsten Gillibrand would have sex with him in order to get campaign contributions.
Right.
The president actually tweeted that this morning.
So the question...
That's delusional, by the way.
Yes,
That's
and by the way,
beyond
never lose your life.
So the question is, Willie, who is the first woman that works for Donald Trump that steps forward and says enough? Who is the first woman that says, I just can't continue working here?
Maybe it's the Force for Women. Maybe it's Ivanka Trump. Maybe she will finally stand up for what is right. Since her father just literally sexually harassed in a cruel way a woman on Twitter. Ivanka, you stepped in there to talk for women, to speak for women, to have a platform for women. Where are you today?
It's essentially enabling her father to be misogynist in chief, to use his platform, to weaponize his platform in a way that no politician in this country ever has against a gender. It is ongoing, it's sustained, it's not going to stop, and I don't think it's going to be tolerated because this country is having a cultural moment right now.
We're done.
Patty?
You wonder about this cultural moment and the Me Too movement and the effect that it's having on somebody like Donald Trump and how much that must be unsettling him. The idea that women are fighting back, the idea that women are saying this is enough, we won't be treated like this, we will not have sexual innuendo thrown at us in a tweet in the morning. I'm not sure he can handle that.
To your question, though, Joe, about women in the White House, that train left the station a long time ago. The women in the White House had time after time after time where if they were offended by his behavior, they could have walked away or they could have stood up to him. And that goes for everyone in there. People we've known and respected who haven't done anything. They've stood on the sideline and not only haven't done anything, but have defended him when asked about this. If they defend this, because it's nothing short of what you just described, there's no other way to explain what he wrote in that tweet today. If they defend this, I don't know how they look at themselves.
So Sarah Huckabee Sanders, today is your day. No, hold on a second. I'm speaking.
Yeah,
today is your day. Today is your day. So I know that your go-to line that you guys talk about backstage before you go out in front of the podium to speak to the American people representing the President of the United States. Today is your day to not actually say when the President is punched, he punches back. Like that would be an appropriate response. Today is your day to say that the President is a sexist, that the President's tweet was totally inappropriate, and that I can't work for a president who would say something like that about a female sitting senator for the state of New York. There's no excuse. You have got to do the right thing. You have got to stop. Today is your day. Do the right thing.
But let's not forget, and let's not close this block without remembering that he's done a lot more than send a tweet. There are 10 women out there on tape who he assaulted and who are part of that Me Too movement. So he feels that hostility because it is directed at him because he is a perpetrator of it. And he's not just sending out tweets.
He felt it yesterday because they were all on TV yesterday.
Okay, well, you can just be sure that the fact that the three of us here are literally shaking in anger, that tweet meant a lot. That tweet said so much about his character. That tweet said so much about how this White House is run. That tweet was one of the worst things I've seen so far in this presidency, actually.
And here's why it's so undermining. You can make it to the stage of senator. You can do everything by the rules. You can be as good as the guys around you. You can be the top of your class. And if you're a woman, you can get to the top and you can still have that kind of crap thrown at you.
All right, Katty Kay, thank you so much for being on. Coming up, we'll talk to the former RNC official and former aide to Jeff Sessions, who's supporting the Democrat in this Alabama race. Plus, one of our other upcoming guests has a message for Roy Moore, and it's thank you. We'll explain why next on Morning Joe.